Welcome back to Figcraft. This is Figment Quad 4. Today I just wanted to show you some of the things I've been working on. As you can see behind me, I've been working on this mining thing occasionally, and I've got some decent progress, but that's just something that'll take forever. But first, I'm going to show you just something I've been working on, in just a little change that I've made in here. So, this is my base, typical base stuff. And then I have this little storage area here for the mods. I added this little attic, I guess you could call it, this room here. So this is just general purpose. You can see it's messy, not too pretty. It's just somewhere I can come and do things that I need a little space to do. Over here, this is something really cool. This is a concrete making machine. You've seen on Hermitcraft or other people, without mods, you have to, let me put these back. You have to take concrete and you put it down, the water hits it, the concrete powder, then it turns into the concrete, then you mine it. So you've got to sort of put concrete in one hand and the pickaxe in the other, and you just have to do this whole, this thing. And stand there and deal with it. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me, and I discovered something very basic with the Extra Utilities mod. There are mechanical crafters, as we've seen before with the chicken farm. I have them doing the feathers. I think I've shown that, I'm not sure. And then down here are the mechanical users. So these can be set up to do things for you. So what I've got here is an automatic concrete making machine. So I put the ingredients in here. I have it stopped right now by taking out some of the gravel. If I put gravel in here right now, it would take the dyes. I think I have it set to do white concrete at the moment. Yeah. So in here, I would just change what dye is here to change what color of concrete it's going to make. All the ingredients are in here. It automatically takes them from here, crafts them there. Hopper feeds them down into this user. This user is set to place block. I've got some speed upgrades on it, so it does it pretty fast, and it's just basically it's on all the time unless you put redstone to it. So I don't have any redstone hooked up to it, so this would just constantly place these powder blocks. Is it making? Interesting. So for some reason this is full of gray. I guess that already placed all the white ones. So it's just set, you've got different settings here, but it'll just place this block. If this block gets mined, it'll automatically place a different one. This one is a user. It's the same, this is the same block, but this one is set to use item on block. So it'll randomly use anything in here on the block in front of it. I have this one, so it has to have redstone to be on. So I have it turned off and on. Right now I have it turned off, so it's not doing anything. But it'll use these to mine whatever's in front of them, use item on block, and I've got it upgraded with speed. The one thing is, concrete doesn't seem to drop if you do it by hand. So if you're not using a pick, it'll just waste it. It'll destroy it. So for a while I had this running, and I only had one pickaxe in there because I was just sort of testing it, forgot about it, I guess. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, the one pick broke. So when I came back, this was empty, and it was just very slowly destroying that block. It would place another one, take a while to mine it, but it would not drop anything, so it wasn't put anything more in there. And then, the water here is, when this block gets popped, I noticed it kept popping above it. So I've got the water pouring over and into these hoppers, which then pour into this storage crate. So you can see I've got all this just from this automation. It doesn't take long. So if we wanted to do some gray concrete, now I have to take off my ring of magnetization. I don't know if I have to put it away or what. Anyway, because otherwise it would make me drop or pick that up. So actually I'm pretty sure this can handle, the hopper picks it up fast enough that it doesn't go into my inventory, but just to make sure, we're going to do that. So here's my switch. Turn this on anytime you want it to work. And boom, you can see it's super fast. This is placing the blocks. This is using these I mean, it's such a small amount of damage, but eventually these will wear down. And then boom. And you can see down here, this is just filling up with concrete. So I'm not doing anything. I can walk away, work on other projects. In fact, I did. Kind of forgot about it. But yeah, as long as I let this run, it just boom, concrete. And there's plenty in here. And yeah, if I wanted to throw some gravel in here, for instance, oh look, I got a little there. So it's going to automatically take that away to make concrete powder. Boom. And that'll feed down here. So this is sometimes gray, sometimes white. You know, this is much the same as a dispenser type of thing does for certain blocks or entities, or I'm not sure. Anyway, mechanical user, boom, amazing. So yeah, you can just see that filling up with concrete. I've decided that I have another project I want to work on. I want to make a giant series of buildings that are basically like a laboratory to check out the different mods. So I'll have a different building for each of the mods, and there'll be different sizes, different whatever. It'll just be this large complex, so I think it should be pretty cool. This is the east entrance to the giant underground cavern. And if you come out here, this is where Tourniquet has decided to make a road. So you can see there's the entrance, nice little road. So now I thought it'd be fun for you guys to see how fast I can go using my sash that allows me to run super fast. So this road, excuse me, is just a really long straight road leading all the way out to the community center, and next to the community center is where I plan on building this little complex. So you can see I'm speeding up. I'm at 13 blocks per second now. 14, 15, 16. Oh, I thought my limit was 15.33, but apparently it's not. I am now going 16.63. Now I wonder if I rode a horse if it would speed up too. I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, I'm going 16.5 blocks per second. The road sort of ends. He never quite finished it, but that's okay. Yeah. So here we are at the community center. It's not too fancy. Just this little building I built just so people would be able to have some sort of central thing. It's got a waystone here, so I can just teleport back and forth, which I will do from now on. I just wanted to show you the road. But here's a little billboard I put up with just ideas for shopping district, general ideas, etc. I thought would be fun just to it was very Hermitcraft inspired, but this only works if there's actually people on here to do these ideas, so I'll just ignore those. And then just this nice little shack to sleep in. I actually was kind of proud of the design of this shack. I thought it looked nice. It has a raised sort of patio around it, this nice little entrance thing. Kind of looks like a shulker box to me, the way the roof curves over and everything in the corners. I don't know, I just thought it was a really nice design. Okay, well apparently I need to sleep for the night. It's gonna get dark. It's gonna get creepy. There's gonna be baddies. Lots of baddies. Okay, sleepy time. Alright. Now, if I look at the map, down here is the city above ground that leads to the underground complex. This is the east entrance and the road that travels all the way up here. So this is, you know, my normal base, and then up here is the compound, and up to the north or west, somewhere here-ish, I believe there's ocean. So I think what I'm gonna do is probably start just up here-ish. Start with one of the buildings. Decided how big I want each of the buildings. It's not an exact science at all, but I will just try to build a couple of these and see what I can do. Oh, I'm already outside. So, north, I'll probably do a little bit west. Of course, the terrain, it's hard to find good places to build things. The terrain makes it interesting when the builds, there's grass going in and out. My overground city, because of the terrain, all the buildings are at different levels, which is kind of nice, kind of neat. But it does make it hard to get started. Oh, you can see some sort of ocean thing there. So I'm probably just going to start right here. Yeah, why not? There's no reason to start anywhere, so we'll start there. Put a torch there just to mark it and make it obvious. So this first building is going to be 20 by 20, and I'm just laying the foundations. All the blocks can change, but right now I'm just going to build them out of cobblestone just to have something there. Okay, here we are at the beautiful community center. You can see my little Figcraft logo here, etc., etc. I always like this. This looks like, for some reason, to me, like Jurassic Park entrance to the park. Just the way these doors. What are these? Ginkgo doors. We have Benny's extra trees and stuff. So we've got a bunch of cool trees and stuff. So you can see I had laid out all these different buildings. You can see this is not. There we go. You can see all these different buildings. I laid out the parameters, the dimensions, where the walls are going to be, and then I laid out the walls, or the floors. I didn't actually do these two yet. These ones were really frustrating. When I went to do this one, I messed up a bunch and ruined. It's stone, and I laid a bunch of stone. Realized I laid it at the wrong level, and then when I used my stone hammer or my steel hammer, this guy, to destroy it all, it turned into cobblestone. So then I had to smelt more. So I just wasted an entire floor's worth of stone, which is frustrating. And I don't remember what other problems I had, but it's just I wasn't in the mood. So I haven't finished these two, but the rest of these I have. You could see in the time lapse, I built this beautiful kitchen. It's got the vents up there. If you've ever worked in a kitchen, you know that the heat rises and the steam collects above fryers and stuff. You always have vents, and you got to clean the hoods. And so this is just a way to ventilate from all the cooking. I think this has a nice sort of ranch house kind of feel. Not too much going on here yet. I've got this awesome glass floor. I think Iskal did this. I'm sure other people have done it, but I'd never even thought of it. Just this sort of smoky thing. I thought it was pretty cool. Nice little tiled kitchen floor, but fancy. You can see you've got sea lanterns for lighting, these little drop-down things, hanging things. So we'll do the cooking for blockheads and all that sort of stuff, put it all around the walls here. So this will be the nice cooking thing. I created this, door frame, which I thought was pretty cool. This actually took me longer than it should have. I'm not a very good builder, so this right here, I tried several things, and eventually I got to that, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I'm impressed. This is a pretty nice looking building for me. This is more, this is still nicer than what I normally do, but this is, a little more square. And the reason is this is a kitchen. It's supposed to feel homey, and that tree didn't get destroyed all the way. It's more, this is more homey. You want to be here. It's very nice. This is a laboratory, so this is a little more sterile. What's the word for it? When things are clean cut. I might think of the word in a minute. But this is marble walls, black concrete. This is why I built that concrete maker. It originally made me a bunch of black concrete for this. Worked amazingly. This is bone blocks, which I think are kind of beautiful in certain contexts. So they really work perfectly to be fitting with the marble, but different enough that it's not just all white. I was going to do quartz originally, but firstly, that's an expensive material. This is a lot easier because I have that skeleton farm, so I have tons of bones. So this was no problem at all. I've got plenty more. If I wanted to build a whole palace out of bone blocks, I could do that. But also the quartz, I didn't think would. It just didn't look the same level of good that this does. If you go inside here, you can see we've got this black concrete bar going in. The frames on the walls and stuff. Sea lanterns hanging down, all lit with sea lanterns. Over here, this is. I showed it to Krusty Monkey. He's the sort of owner of this server. He was like, oh no, it's ugly, which it is kind of ugly. But what I did was I just figured, let's build a log cabin. So I went around and got a bunch of different trees, chopped them down with my cool lumber axe, which chops down a whole tree just by hitting the base. Sometimes it misses one. That's what happened. That's why that one birch log is hanging on that tree there. Stuff like that. So usually I'll go up with my hatchet and make short work of it. But I decided to take these different logs and lay them across and make this cabin made out of these logs, but have the instead of this all just being one type of wood, it would look really flat, but this looks like it's separate logs, and it looks kind of like you're pioneering, you're out in the woods, in a new territory, the new frontier, and you're just taking whatever you can and making the thing. So I think it has a certain aesthetic. It admittedly doesn't look beautiful, but I thought it was kind of cool. I'm sure you could do it better, if you put some more whatever, but this is just the first time I've done this, so just a proof of concept that maybe there's something to it. I don't know. You got the frame on the wall. I made some of these come out a little more just so it's like it's not as clean. Then if you come inside here, I actually really like the way the inside looks. Now the wall is all different, so some people are frustrated by that kind of thing, undoubtedly. But to me, it feels so warm and cozy. Like when you're out here and you're working, and then zombies start coming because it's nighttime, and you come in here, it's like, I can relax, I can rest. This is calming, beautiful, cozy. I would be very happy with living in a place like this, I think. Obviously, you got your bed here. I used coarse dirt on the ground so that grass wouldn't grow here at all, because I don't want grass inside here. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I wanted a dirt floor. So you can see there's all these storage crates, bricks. These are the various materials. I showed you that little room before where I had all, I said I put a bunch of crates down. These are the crates. I put them down, I went around, filled them with resources, kept going and doing whatever I needed to do to get all the resources, and then brought all of them over here and built this to store them in so that I could be right next to my building project and have somewhere to house all the materials and stuff so that it wasn't all in my inventory. So that's what this is for. You can see I kind of made it look like a frontier thing. You've got jerky here. There we go. Monster jerky. That's just rotten flesh hung up on a drying rack from Tinker's Construct. Yeah. And it makes this jerky, which you can eat, and it has no negative effects. I don't actually eat it because, obviously I have plenty of cooked chicken, but it just, I think things hanging here. Leather, I think, looks better. Maybe I could bring some leather over here. Probably won't, just because this doesn't seem worth it. But sometimes I'll hang leather and stuff from these drying racks just to make places seem more cozy or lived in, whatever. But you can see treated wood planks, stone. That one's empty. I'll leave it there because I've got these furnaces here where I keep throwing in stone or cobblestone to make more stone, because I need a lot of that for the floors, and I think I have some buildings that have walls. I think I explained this, but the basic concept is there's these different buildings. So this is kitchen and laboratory are the two where it's only one building of each type. They don't look like any other. There's a little log cabin. But then there'll be, these are going to be large hangars for vehicles from the vehicle mods. You've got some warehouses to store large things, and then workshops. So just sort of a little bit arbitrary decisions that I made for these buildings to be different. But these are all going to be very similar buildings, same materials and everything. Might be some structural differences or look different in some way, or they might just all be copy paste type deal. But I think this complex just has, they'll look different once you start doing stuff with them. Anyways, guys, that's about all I got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.